Hey guys.
Welcome back to the show. It's not a big deal. It's whatever.
I just like to have a good time, you know?
So guys, one thing we like to do on this channel is what we call easy content. Okay? Easy content. And one of the things for easy content is to make fun of this guy, Ben Shapino.
Ben Shapino.
Boy, oh boy, has this guy been saying some hilarious stuff. I mean, I ain't even lying. This guy has been dropping gems. So here we go. One of the truly great content creators of our time, Benny Shapino.
It has been 21 years since 9/11.
Okay.
And it seems like all of the lessons of 9/11 have been forgotten.
What?
And this is not a rarity in human history,
Right.
obviously. So I want to go through some of the lessons of 9/11 and then demonstrate how we seem to have forgotten nearly all of them by the year 2022, which is a depressing thought because what it really does suggest is that we are inviting more aggression from our enemies.
Wow.
So-
Bless you. Bless you. Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much, Ben, for preventing another 9/11 right now with this video. Thank you. We don't want this again. You know, unlike many of my viewers, I don't want 9/11 to happen again, and thank God that this guy, what's his name? Ben Shapiro. Thank God he's here to help us. What's this video called? What we learned from 9/11.
The impression that was taken away by Osama bin Laden and a lot of other people is that the United States was a paper tiger.
Uh-huh.
And that impression, again, was driven by the fact that we had decided to cut our military spending. If you actually want to protect America, you're going to have to be strong militarily. And strong ideologically. You're going to have the wherewithal. Because after 9/11, after the end of the Cold War, the idea was, okay, well, we can sort of retrench, go back to a certain level of isolationism.
Okay.
We cut our military spending.
Okay, yeah, so this is an amazing point by Benny Shapino. Benny Shapino, one of the most popular podcasts in the world, in the U.S., definitely in the U.S. But this is an excellent point. He's like, part of the reason 9/11 happened and how we can prevent it in the future is we were just not spending enough on the military. We just... You know, every once in a while when I'm making these videos, I'm like, how can I show on this channel, what can I show to make my point? And I have to cobble crap together and I can't. I found the perfect thing. Okay, so this perfect little video is called From Cold War to War on Terror, How Much America Outspends Everyone on This. Where is it?
Uber cars.
No. That. This is a perfect little visualization of how much the U.S. spends on the military from 1990, that's a decade before 9/11, to now. Let's take a look. Okay, so we're starting in 1990. Oh, wow. Look at the U.S. This is the U.S. right here. Oh, it's the hugest one. It's still the hugest one. Now we're in... Let's watch that again. 1990. Oh, 1990, 1, 2. Oh, it makes all the other ones look kind of ridiculous, actually. So yeah, this is a really good point. You know, the decades before 9/11, we were spending as much as the next, 8, 9 countries combined on military crap. If we did 20, if we were spending as much as the next 20 countries, then those Al-Qaeda would have been like, oh, no, never mind. We will learn how to fly back. During our flight classes. We will learn how to fly back now. We're not going to do this. The 9/11 hijackers had a soundboard. Okay. Ben Shapiro's show should be called Dancing for Grandpa. Dancing for Grandpa. Because I feel like most of his stuff is it's just geared toward things that certain grandpas want to hear, I guess. That's the only sense I could make of this, because there's no way he believes this. The other thing, I think I'm a couple years older than Benny Shapino, and one of the defining things about 9/11 from what I remember was a sentiment that went something along the lines of, wow, we have the biggest military, we have all this, but yeah, we couldn't have prevented that. Wow, they got around it. They got around that. Or people would say it in this way, this is a new kind of war. This is a new kind of war that's not a war, where they could just, yeah, we weren't expecting, You know how all our money is based around, like, military crap in this country? Yeah, it's useless against this kind of stuff. So I guess what we'll do is you take your shoes off at the airport. And then we'll invade a country that has nothing to do with it. And we'll listen to your phone calls. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's so funny because he's setting this video up as, and this has got to be satirical. Like, I'm not internet savvy as much as you guys are, so is this a satire channel? Can somebody put that in the comments? Because he's like, these are the lessons we need to take from 9/11. And this is like the one exact opposite lesson of, like, we need more military. We need more military. It seemed like after 9/11, you know, the weeks and days and whatever months, year after 9/11, there were two kinds of people. There were the people who were like, what? Why do they hate us, man? Why do they? You would see a lot of articles and say, why do they hate us? And books. What
do they hate us?
What did I do? Is it when I got those viruses on my computer? This is 2001. When I got those from those sites, you know? Is that what happened? Is that why? There is one guy who believes that he was looking at, you know, 2001 porno sites, and that's why 9/11 happened. But yeah, so there were people who were like, why did this happen? They wanted to know, you know, they maybe got into like foreign policy stuff. Maybe they read that book Blowback or looked at Noam Chomsky's stuff. But then, of course, it's America. So there's a large contingent of who were like, I'm going to put one giant flag around my car. I'm going to drive around with a giant flag, a wraparound flag on my car because
flags are good and that's bad. Those buildings
are going down is bad.
And we're going to put a boot in your ass for the USA.
Whose ass are you going to put?
Somebody. I don't know.
I don't know, and also I can't drive with this flag.
And 9/11 rejected all of that. The idea was, if you actually want to protect America, you're going to have to be strong militarily and strong ideologically. You're going to have the wherewithal and the ideological strength to withstand things like long-term.
Yeah, so that part, none of that meant anything. And not even joking, that was just basically meaningless. We need to project more.
We need to project strength.
Well, we have the most expensive military. Actually, you know what? Maybe he's making a good point here. This is the 90s, you know, the decade before 9/11, you know. So maybe if we sent over The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin has beers. He's running around Afghanistan with, like, beers. He's like, I'm American. Watch out, man. He's smashing the beers.
So, you know, I think maybe Ben Shapiro made an accidentally a good point.
And so I want to talk about 5 of those lessons right now.
Thank God.
And we seem to have forgotten nearly all of them. First, the world is smaller than you think. Things that happen far away in lands that we do not know.
Right.
Those things impact the United States.
So he says this like 3 or 4 times. He's like, the world is smaller. This is one of the lessons. The world is smaller than we think.
The world is smaller than you think.
The world is smaller than we think. The message that he's trying to get into the brain of Grandpa is people can just come over here and get us. People come over here, they say, me no speak English. And they do that, Grandpa. That's the message he's trying to put into Grandpa's head. But it's a little unfortunate that he's using this phrase that it's a small world because there's another unfortunate thing for Ben here. Hey, what's this story here? From Insider? Just months ago? Declassified FBI memo confirms direct connection between Saudi government, and 9/11. Ooh. What's this other story? This guy, Jared Kushner, he took $2 billion from the Saudi government, from the Saudi royal family. Oh.
Some of the more effective policymakers in American history have also been the most unexpected, perhaps even the most reluctant.
Right.
Such is the case with today's guest, Jared Kushner.
Oops. It's a very small world, Ben. That's an unfortunately small world for Benny Shatino especially when talking about 9/11. A guy who took $2 billion from these elites in Saudi Arabia who are directly connected to 9/11. You had him on your show. Yeah, that's an unfortunate. This actually reminded me, I went to the 9/11 museum, Memorial Museum in New York, like a year ago, a couple of years ago. And one thing I remember is that the security that works there had to tell several people, like this happened like more than once, had to tell people to stop eating in the museum. You know, people in there, they're just like, oh, sorry, all this 9/11 made me hungry.
Okay, I know what you're thinking, and yeah, you got me. It was me. It was me eating in the 9/11 Memorial Museum.
Oh, yeah!
Toilet. You're terrible. That's on YouTube. Sniffing.
So here we go. This is another thing that Ben Shapino is pretending to be upset about. This has almost 200,000 views. Wow. In 5 days. Wow. Great, bro. Good for you.
And I was just wondering, a quick question. If I wanted to watch that...
where would I go about, how do I put this, watching that?
That's on YouTube.
Thank you.
Thank you, now I know.
So it looks like we got two titles here. The title of the video, the YouTube title is Why Loan Forgiveness is Theft, and the title on the actual video is The Student Loan Bailout Disaster. Oh, what a disaster, bro.
Folks, Joe Biden actually performed the most expensive executive action in the history of the United States.
Wow.
He basically said that he was going to single-handedly relieve $500 billion in student loan debt. Wow. He's doing this because he wishes to re-enshrine an extraordinarily corrupt higher education system in the United States. We're going to talk in 1 second about how the student...
This is actually the one thing I find moderately interesting about Benny Shapino, is that he seems to be using his Harvard law degree, right? I think he went to Harvard Law School. He seems to be using that to do clever linguistic tricks on YouTube.
Folks, Joe Biden actually performed the most expensive executive action in the history of the United States.
He performed the most expensive executive action in the United States. Wow. No way, bro. Wow.
The wind burned her a little bit in the pool.
The wind really burned her a little bit in the pool on that one, that's for sure. And the whole premise, the whole thing Ben Shapiro's worked up and pissed off about, and the whole way that they're framing this, these right-wingers, is not that we're really spending money, because these loans have already been given out. It's already done. So it's not spending money. You're just, their framing is, oh, we're not getting that money back. We're not getting that revenue into the government now. So they're going to raise taxes on a guy who just works at a gas station, probably. So, of course, like the tax cuts that this guy likes, like millionaire corporate tax cuts, all that crap, is way more expensive in that framing than student debt relief for poor people. So that's where the linguistic trick comes from. If you're just like, you know, a Ben Shapiro viewer, you're like, oh, the way you receive that is, oh, this is the most expensive thing ever. This is the most expensive thing ever.
About 5.2% of American women.
What are you goofing around with a chalkboard? What are you doing? What is this?
Had gone to college in 1950.
Okay,
so a very small minority of Americans had gone to college in 1950. Most jobs didn't require a college degree.
Right.
In 1980, that's for about 30 years.
So he wastes all this time goofing around.
Jerking around.
You know, jerking around with his little chalk. So he wastes a bunch of time jerking around with this little chalkboard. I don't get why he doesn't just say the truth, which is, I don't like poor people. You know, this loan forgiveness, you know, helped out poor people the most, really. And Ben doesn't like that. I mean, that's it. It's that simple. That's why.
Things for poor people are bad, because they're bad.
That's it.
Not a shock. When you subsidize things, the price goes up. So when Joe Biden says, let's just get rid of the debt, let's get rid of all the college debt, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think the price is going to go up, or is it going to go down? Are you going to be encouraging people to take more useless degrees or fewer useless degrees? Are you going to be encouraging more people to go to college, to get that degree in lesbian dance theory, and pay those diversity, equity, inclusion administrators a lot of money?
So every other country has figured this out. You make college free. That's it. Easy. It wouldn't cost basically anything for the United States to do that. But Ben Shapiro has a much better solution. Just don't get an education. Just don't go to college. Just don't go to school. The other thing about this is that these robots keep repeating this this stupid talking point about, like,
Lesbian dance theory, that's what they're studying.
If you do even a quick Google search about what are the most popular majors in the United States, young 18-year-olds really do think of college as like flipping a condo. Like they do think of it as like, how can I make money? Business is the most popular, by far the most popular major. I mean, but if you think about this, it's kind of like such a sad way to look at the world. The idea that higher education should just be like, instead of higher education being like, hey, these people have devoted their lives to whatever, science, history, whatever, and now they're going to share that knowledge with younger people, or the arts, people who have made films, made music, have a lot of experience with this, and they share that experience in a way that's going to make a richer culture and all this. Instead of that, it's just,
no! How do I maximize as much money as I can out of this?
And of course, that's what people are doing. That's what people are doing with college. It's actually the opposite of what
they study gender dance
or whatever. Like, no, they're all getting business degrees. People are thinking like these money robots. Like, I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn about the arts. The humanities.
Suck my humanities.
That's shit. So you end up with a culture of just people like, how do I extract the most money out of it? Like, that's what we got. So the world that Ben Shapiro wants is the one that exists. You idiot, you fool, you moron.
Hillary Clinton.
Who?
She has her brand new terrible documentary on Apple TV Plus, in which she interviewed a bunch of very important people like Megan Thee Stallion.
Wow.
Truly gutsy women.
Hello,
gutsy women
Tushy.
who can twerk. That's the mark of a gutsy woman is the twerking. So Hillary Clinton was on Person to Person with Nora O'Donnell.
I've gotten back into painting. It makes me calm, and I was trying to please everybody and make everybody else happy. I was losing myself, I felt like.
Yeah.
So I just had to remember who I was, and I had to start spending a little bit more time by myself to just, get back into me.
Get back into me. Yeah, that is the sort of values that we need to promote abroad. Get back into me.
Okay.
And that's precisely the American export that I think is going to really change the world for the better. Get back into me. That idea.
Uh-huh.
The idea of owning your own sexual being. That's going to be a big winner internationally, guys.
Okay.
Well, speaking of big winners internationally, apparently Ukraine is blowing.
That's a great transition there, bro. Hey, I gotta hand it to this guy that he's really made a career out of not working. Like, this guy really, this is the most low-effort crap I've ever seen. Yeah, play the Megan Thee Stallion Hillary Clinton thing. Megan Thee Stallion's like, I gotta focus on me sometimes. Ben Shapiro's like, that's great. End of segment. Okay. There's probably, this Hillary Clinton thing, there's probably some super funny stuff in there. If these guys had the work ethic to, like, actually go through some of that footage and extract something funny, guaranteed you find some just absurd funny stuff in there. But
that's too much work. That's too much. Just play it.
Okay, they play the clip.
Yeah, right, Megan Thee Stallion.
That's the segment.
The core of this particular piece is Jennifer Lawrence's politics.
Who?
That's the thing that really matters right here.
Okay.
Right, so she talks in this piece. Let's take our political cues from her. Not a bad mood exactly, but a consistently emotional one brought on by the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe versus Wade a few days earlier. Much of her disappointment was directed at certain relatives back in Louisville, Kentucky, where she'd grown up, including her father. So she...
Oh my god, this guy's obsessed with Jennifer Lawrence. He's doing this.
I don't want to disparage my family, says Jennifer Lawrence, but I know that a lot of people are in a similar situation with their families. How could you raise a daughter from birth and believe she doesn't deserve equality?
Yeah.
How? Well, maybe they believe that you deserve equality, but also they're glad you were born.
Oh!
I love when people talk about their parents this way.
Oh!
You understand? This brings to mind the old Ronald Reagan line. Everybody who's pro-abortion has already been born.
Who said that? Ronnie Regster? Cool, man. Cool. Ronnie Regarino, by the way, first guy to sign a bill decriminalizing abortion. Ooh, whoops. Yeah. So there we go, guys. A wacky guy with some wacky ideas. What's his problem? I don't know. Nobody knows. Hope you're having a good week. It's Wednesday. You're pulling through. And you do what you do. Love you guys so much. Talk to you later. And...
Pendejo!
Bye-bye. Hey guys, you're only getting a fraction of the weekly shows. If you want a new mother an episode every day, subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. You get the patron-only Tuesday and Thursday shows, the Bookablega show where we look at important books, and the goddamn weekly behind-the-scenes show. And for only 25 bones, you could become a producer and get your name up here. Look at these people. These people make this show possible. If it wasn't for them, nothing. We don't have a show. We got nothing, and it's garbage. And we have to just leave. We have to just basically walk away. And we don't even really know where we're walking. That's the truly troubling part about all this. But please, become a patron today for as little as 2 bones, or 5 bones is another level, or 10, or you go the full 25 and you get up here. Big special thanks to these people. Love you guys. Love you guys so much.